Welcome to the Yellow Brick Road. I am Jordan, and it's YellBRo Light Day. But this has nothing to do with the hero's journey, really. It kind of does, with mirrors and reflections and all of that. That's a part of the road, I believe. And I'm on Discord, so you're gonna hear some familiar and some unfamiliar voices, probably. And hopefully we have fun with this. I think it's an interesting little riddle thing from the Ricky Gervais show, of all things. It's supposed to be like a kind of like a conundrum type of thing. And yeah, let's do it. Before I get started, don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Share them. If you don't have money, share them. If you do, donate now. All right. So here is my clip. Not my clip. Well, Ricky Gervais's clip of this little riddle. Hopefully I pause it before they say any type of answer. I don't remember exactly when the answer pops up, but hopefully I have good timing. And here we go.
Pause.
Okay, Carl. This is a logical conundrum. To a certain extent, there's a little bit of lateral thinking because, but there is only one right answer. Now, the pressure here isn't to get this right. The pressure is when I've told you the answer to then understand it. Because when I've explained this to people, I've laid out for them, they still can't quite get the concept. Okay, so there's two doors, Carl.
Yeah.
One leads to heaven, one leads to hell. Okay, they're identical, you can't tell them apart. Okay, 50-50.
Right.
Obviously you want to go to heaven, I assume. Right, there's two guards, identical guards, guarding each door. Okay?
Right.
The one guarding hell always tells a lie.
I know this joke.
The one guarding heaven always tells the truth. You have to ask one question to find out which is which, and then go through the door you want. What question do you ask?
I know it. I know it.
Don't say it then. Don't say it.
I don't want.
Hang on until everyone else goes, if you know it. All right, so we got RSFO knows this already, so. Granted, I don't think there's one answer, because the answer I got from the show is like, I think could be one of many answers, actually.
I will be this icebreaker. There is only one question that's a true answer, and that's only one.
We'll debate that after.
No, there is only one.
Do you want us to guess?
We'll debate that after.
Okay.
We shall debate that after. Okay,
Do you want us to guess?
Okay, so I gotta
It's
ask
a math.
a question.
It's a math.
Oh.
It's math, and the solution.
I gotta ask
Doesn't have to
them
be
a
math.
question.
but we'll get to this. All right, so the question is, all right, you have two doors. One leads to heaven, one leads to hell. In front of one door is someone that will always tell you the truth. In front of the other door, it's someone who will always lie to you. But they look identical, okay? The two guards, they look identical. You only have one question you're allowed to ask, and obviously, if you want to go to heaven, what question would you, if you figure out, you ask the question to figure out which door will get you into heaven. What question do you ask? Hopefully, I explained that right.
You just want us to guess.
It's one. You have one question you're allowed to ask, and you can ask
To get to
either one
heaven.
of them.
I'd ask him, who am I?
No.
What's hell like? That's my question.
Yeah,
Mine
I would
is-
that.
No, what's
the
heaven
question
like?
you would- the
Oh,
question
that's-
you would ask is very visible. It's a visible
If it's-
question.
If it's hell
have
and one
to
guy
ask the
can't lie and
visible-
one guy can tell the truth, that guy would be able to tell me what I ideally believe is my perfect hell.
How
No.
you wouldn't know?
Wouldn't
How
you
would
just
know?
ask? Is
You
it,
wouldn't
no,
know.
but wait.
The
You don't know
answer-
which door which one's the liar in front of? Or
Yeah,
we don't know.
but it's a visible question. If somebody's always going to tell a lie, that means you have to ask them the most plausible truth in front of them. And if they lie about it, that's the liar. It's not the truth. You have to figure out who the liar is.
Yeah, you don't know who. You only know that one is always lying, one is
Gonna
always
lie.
telling the truth. You just don't know which.
Well, that's why
Yeah.
that's what I asked
So
what hell
the
is, because
truth-
if that person
the
can tell me
truth
like
is
very
in front of you.
detailed,
The
like
truth is
what
in front
is
of you.
hell,
You have to ask the
I know
visible
he's telling the
question.
truth.
Yeah, but you have to ask the visible question in front of you. There's two guards with two doors. If one is gonna lie, that means he'll lie about something that's very visible. That's the obvious truth. That's the question you have to ask.
I'm saying he would tell me like specifically what is my visual hell. The truth guy would tell me what is my visual hell.
That has nothing to do with it.
It's
He wouldn't know
truly-
that.
The thing is,
My question would be, what's heaven
and-
like?
No, that's not the
Right.
correct answer. The correct
No,
You guys
just
all
say,
have
is
all
this
have
the right
correct.
door?
If
Like,
if
is this
he
the door to
lies
heaven?
about it,
You
you
asked
would catch him
what
in it.
the other guard would say. So
You
gotta
ask
go
them
too deep.
both and hear both
No,
answers.
you only ask
You get one
guard.
question for
Does
both.
not matter which guard you ask. You ask that guard, what door would the other guard tell me leads to heaven?
My question would be, what's heaven like?
I wouldn't ask.
One's
I mean,
gonna lie to
how,
you, and one's gonna
we
tell
don't
you
know
the
what
truth. You
heaven's
won't
like
know
either,
which
though.
one. You're only allowed one question. You get to ask it to either
To
guard.
both guards, right?
But if you ask either
No,
guard,
Yeah.
which door would the other guard say leads to heaven?
Yeah. they're
No,
both
but do you?
guards.
Yeah, but then who do you know which is the guard telling the truth?
He's correct.
Because-
He's correct.
It seems like you asked an
If
obvious
you ask,
question to
if
see.
you ask the liar, he's going to lie to you.
But who
That's
do you
why
know
you
who's
ask
the
the question.
liar?
You know.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
truth.
yeah. Well, he will lie, so you'll get the same answer regardless of who you
Yeah,
ask.
because you would know. Yeah, like if you ask a question that you already know the answer to, and one of them's gonna lie to you no matter what, then that's how you would know for sure. Because the liar's gonna lie, and the other guy's gonna
Interesting.
tell the
This
truth.
is, this is exactly what I wanted to happen. I'm hearing, in my mind, two correct answers at the same time. Now, I'm
All right,
gonna give you what the show is gonna give you as an answer. Or actually, are there more that want to chime in? What would be your one question? You only get one question to ask.
My question would be to the guard, which side are you standing on, left or right?
Or do you mean heaven and hell instead of left and right?
No, you'd ask the question to one of the guard, which side are you standing on? Are you on the right of me or are you on the left of me? The liar would lie, the truth teller would tell the truth.
Okay.
That's
So if the guard on the left is gonna lie, he would say he's on the right of you. So you already know.
Okay.
Isn't that the same? Isn't
The
that
issue-
the
Let
same?
me fortify on my answer.
Okay,
Like, if-
pause.
Hold
The
on.
issue with what you just said is yes, you can determine the liar, but you don't have two questions. So now which
Yeah,
door
but-
leads to heaven?
Yeah, but you
That's
would
why
know.
just ask
You can't
the
ask.
The liar is
You did
hell.
not ask.
The truth teller's door is heaven. So whoever doesn't tell the truth on the position they're in, that means his door is
Okay.
going to hell.
I
and
guess
the one who
it-
tells the
okay.
truth is
one, I guess.
If you assign, you're
okay.
right.
Okay.
Good call.
Good. Okay. Now, Opeth, I want to hear your because you had.
Hey, YellBRo, let me say mine.
Go ahead.
I would say is either is yeah. I would say does the sun associated with light?
And what would be the purpose of that?
Why do you people
Because-
try to add things?
Hold on, RSFO. Hold on.
really is a Nazi.
Why would that?
It's-
Why would you ask
I
that?
love
Ben?
RSFO.
Why would you ask that, Ben?
It's a little bit better than is the sky blue.
What?
Does a star produce light? I don't know.
You'll have your.
Does a
chance,
bear
RSFO,
shit in the
don't worry.
woods?
I mean, if the guy says no, I mean, like if he's gonna lie to me, then what would he would have to say no
okay.
or something else, right?
So Ben, hold on.
Why are you adding? Why are you adding external stuff to the entire joke? Oh,
Well, hang on.
Wouldn't math be external? It would be presumptive that they understand math or have a concept for it.
Well, the reason
Well,
I
one
mean,
has to tell the truth.
everyone
And
knows
one.
math.
the reason why
If you understand math, there must be understanding of light.
No, but here's the joke with the math.
Let's.
If you ask him a deductible question in math, the liar will
Yeah,
lie.
you can't
And the
lie.
truth
Yeah,
teller
you
will
can't
give you
lie.
the answer. So if
That was
you
my
know
first
10
thought.
plus 10 is 20. Yeah, so if you know 10
I
plus
thought it
10
was
is
too obvious
20.
too.
Yeah, if 10 plus 10 is 20 and a guy tells you it's 9, you know he's the fucking guy guarding the door to hell. And the guy, the other guy, would be the truth teller.
Yeah, so it wouldn't matter who you asked. If you asked,
I
the
think in
Whoever
the
tells you
original,
my
the
answer as well,
actual
too.
truth,
I think
who gives you
in the
answer is
original,
the truth teller.
I think in the original riddle that there was no rule saying that the liar is in front of the door to hell.
No, there wasn't in the original riddle. This is where the confusion is
That's
coming
correct.
from.
That's correct.
The original riddle gave many different ways to answer the question. This one is a very specific.
I think something that I would like to know is what's the room like that I'm in, and do I really want to leave it to go to either place?
There is no room.
Well, that's a deeper
You're
existential
just in
question
front of two
outside of
doors.
the outside of the
Yeah.
little riddle itself.
They didn't say you were in a room. They just said you're in front of two people guarding a door.
Okay,
Cool.
so
are
hold
these
on.
doors, you can see, are these doors the same size?
Opeth, how would
How cool
you
are those
distinguish which one's lying and which one's telling the truth?
What
With
makes
that
you
question.
think? What makes you think that I want to go through those doors? What makes you think I care? Why not just party the rest of the time? Maybe I get to stay there in purgatory with the unlimited fucking weed and just chill with these two dudes. Maybe
Fair
one
enough.
day it's
Maybe.
my dick, you know?
Maybe.
I'll answer one question.
I accept that answer. Is that the answer you're going with?
Opeth,
Well,
you can
I
only
told
ask
yeah, bro,
one
can I clarify
question.
my answer?
I told you the
Forever?
correct answer, so I mean, you know the correct answer.
Well,
But
say the correct
Yeah,
answer
I-
again. So it's like on. So that's just you, and we can hear you clearly, and that you state it. So good.
basically, you just ask either one what the other guard would tell you, and either that guard tells you the truth and tells you that guard's lying, or that guard lies to you and tells you that the other guard is telling the truth.
That is the answer to the original riddle.
Yeah, that's the answer to the original riddle. But this is different because you have to figure out the door. Not who's lying.
If the guard you ask is the one who tells the truth, he's going to honestly tell you, you know, that the other guard is the lying guard and will point towards the wrong door. So it makes that door the safe bet.
But okay. So you're gonna go to one of them and ask them which door is the other one guarding? Is that your question?
Yeah.
Okay, but if I'm standing in front of the
No.
liar one.
No,
Oh,
not what he's guarding, what he would tell you he's guarding.
Okay.
What will the other say if I ask him? What will the other
Yeah.
guy say?
What would he say?
You can't ask the other guy a question. You can only ask one. So it's a
Yeah,
50
you can
Yeah,
only-
well, no, it is a one question. You ask the one guy what the other guy will say if I ask him.
Yes.
Can I clarify my answer, man?
Please go ahead.
Go
Ember.
ahead.
You are
Like I
all
said, like
gonna
I'd
go
ask
to
him
the
like what's
concentration camps.
what's hell like? Like if hell is really like fire and brimstone, that's not really hell. Some people would like that stuff. So if the liar tells me a perception of hell that I wouldn't find fitting to my
Well,
perception of hell,
the
I know
question-
he's lying.
The
because I
question
wouldn't
is the
care
same.
for perception.
The question is the same.
That's
doesn't
why I
matter.
said
Doesn't
ask
really
him
matter
what
whether
heaven's
it's
like.
It doesn't matter
Same
whether
idea. The opposite.
But isn't that based
regardless-
on your subjective notions, Ember?
Yeah, like you
Yeah,
wouldn't know the truth.
it's my subjective notion of hell. He like
But
some people like
But you
some
could be
people
wrong
like
about
fire and
hell.
brimstone and stuff like that. I you know.
you'll need the same
I
question
might-
either way.
Well,
No,
if you
that's
Some
not
people would
good.
like that fire and brimstone and some of what you hear in hell. Like
Well,
if they tell me a perception of hell that I find like truly
I think-
terrifying, I know
well,
which
slow
one's
down,
the right
slow
one.
down. If you're gonna go with that emblem, then if you enjoy fire and brimstone, then your hell would actually be heaven, and your heaven would be hell. So it'd still be
Bingo.
the same thing.
I think the concept of heaven and hell are pretty extreme, and I like things in moderation.
Well, it's giving
So
you
you could
that
say
in order
how
to say
many-
good
I-
place
I-
or bad place. It's not really saying like place you want
I
to be
will-
versus place you don't want to be. That's all it's really saying. They just put
If
it in heaven and hell
everything's
because it's
good, you
typical.
don't appreciate how good it is. You need the bad times to appreciate the good. So the point of heaven's kind of fucking ridiculous, and the point of hell's kind of ridiculous too because you have nothing to contrast it to.
I disagree, but we can argue that another time.
That's
I
why.
think-
That's
I
why
just
I
think if the
won't.
liar told me like too pleasant of a hell, I'd know he's lying for sure.
Okay.
That's why I want all extremes together.
Okay,
There
so
you go. But it can't all
RSFO, you're
be
saying
one
it's all right. So RSFO, you're saying it's mathematical, and you already
Well,
know the answer. So please go ahead.
Well, I don't need to because Opeth already proved that to be
Well,
mathematical.
we want each individual to have their own. Like, say it for yourself.
Well, it's mathematical in the sense you ask the other guy what the other will say. It's like minus multiplied by minus will get you a plus. And plus multiplied by plus will also get you plus. So it is mathematical.
Yep.
I would agree. For that side of things, because my conclusion is going to bring up, because the point of this was to be reflective and put some perspective on things. Like this is like kind of like a mirror in a way, just based on you guys answering questions. Now that doesn't make it a super duper accurate mirror, but for me it feels like it says something. But regardless,
I remember right. This was in an old movie or something a long time ago when I was a kid, like some kind of Disney movie or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the serpents with the two head. One tells the truth, one always lies.
Okay. Anthony, did you say your question?
Yeah, I said I would ask whoever, but yeah, I would have to go with Opeth and Artificial.
Okay. Anybody else? Tender, you want to add something to it?
Opeth, that wasn't.
Or do you have a different question than any of the other ones, or do you agree with someone else?
I mean, yeah, no, I would just ask him probably just a math question or something that I know that's going to be a concrete answer that you have to tell the truth or lie.
Ah. Okay.
I mean, that's...
So something like what Chip was saying.
I feel like, would math really matter in that? Like, couldn't the right person just not know the answer? What if I don't know, not an accepted answer?
You got the dumbest guy in the world that just can't do fucking math. He's just like, addition. What is addition?
Well, Anthony, here's the thing. Like, one has to say the truth.
What's it?
They have to be correct.
That's what I'm saying.
One has to.
But I'm saying, but can't. Yeah. So can't I don't know be correct? Or is that not? We're talking about
they have to say the truth.
How would you even got into that position if you don't even know what 2 + 2 is equal to 4?
Well, I mean, if it's complex, man, like some root square shit.
It's very simple.
Well, why would you ask a question?
One will always lie. One will always tell you the truth.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, if someone says I don't know, and the other one gives me a number that I know is wrong, what would you do then?
One can't think they don't know.
Anthony, you gotta listen.
Yeah.
They have to tell you. They have to tell you the truth. They have to tell you the truth, and one has to lie.
I don't know, because you be saying what is the truth? Like, and I don't know is the truth too, isn't it?
You know?
Well, with math, that's why I said math.
Well, I think the best definition of mathematics.
It's not a bad thing to add in there. Okay, now I hear you. Now I hear you, Anthony. Now I hear that. Okay. Like, how do you know? How does Anthony know if he's hearing the correct answer or not?
Yeah,
that's a fair statement.
Math is the universe. That's the fabric of everything. So
you ask a question that you know is true. Like, the water is what? You have to ask something that's visibly true. Like,
actually, they say water's not wet.
Why not? A more complex answer requires more nuance from both people, anyways.
It's not anything complex. It's like asking them what color is the simplest answer. Yeah,
but what if they take it complex with you, though?
You ask the simplest question. Yeah, you don't ask them nothing complex.
No, but they could. To screw with you, I guess if they're going to screw with you, that's probably the liar.
Exactly.
How many molecules are typically, or how many electrons are typically on a hydrogen atom?
That's too complex. That's why you ask 2 + 2. What is 2 + 2, motherfucker? And if one of them says 6, oh, you're the liar.
This is such a reflective thing. This is beautiful. I'm loving it.
What if he comes back with, actually, there is no elements. You've all been wrong forever, and here's what it really is.
And they're the both.
Yeah, that's too complicated a question. That's why you don't ask a complicated one. Keep it simple. Matter of fact, what's 1 + 1, bitch? Not even 2 + 2. What's 1 + 1?
Well, that would be
0 + 0.
What's interesting, the truth teller and the liar could both say that potentially. Like, how do we know?
That's
Liar will
Because
always
math
lie.
is math. Numbers
Right,
are
but I mean the
numbers.
idea about that there is no hydrogen molecule, all that shit, like that. The truth teller could say that. That
That's
could be
why you
true.
wouldn't
Yeah,
ask that
it could not be
question.
true. It
Liar
could be a lie.
has
It's a
to
really
lie.
hefty lie.
The liar has to lie, though. You guys are changing the equation to something completely
Like I've
different.
never seen
The
that
liar,
fucking atom or that fucking molecule.
Yeah, I know the liar. has
Well,
to
my
lie.
shit, Chip. My shit was specific, Chip.
You could
I'm
ask
just saying.
them
There's a
something
gray
You ask
area.
them what's 7 times 31. If you know that, and they say, and one guy says I don't know, or the other guy says a wrong number.
well, the guy who says
They
he doesn't
couldn't
know
say
would
that.
possibly be the liar.
That'd be the liar.
could
One
just
guy has
use-
to be the liar.
You can literally just use the information you're given, knowing that
200.
one lies and one tells the truth, and you just ask
217?
either guard and say, can
Be 210.
both
But
guards
think
be
about it,
liars?
think about
Or
it. Hold
can
on,
both guards
think
tell
about
the
it.
truth? And if so, if he says yes, then that's the liar.
But that's what I'm saying. Think about it. Jordan said specifically, one has to say the truth and one has to lie to you.
You're right. So if you ask the one, do both guards have to say the truth? And he says yes, that's the liar. If he says no, that's the truth teller.
Oh, I didn't hear. What
Yeah, I
you
didn't
said.
hear that part. My bad. I was talking about. Yeah, I was talking about.
Oh.
No, I just.
But I guess
told
to the
you
heart
that.
of what
I thought you
was
said
I'm
does the
saying if you want another answer,
But that's not
probably
necessarily
as
the
close
case.
as you're going to get.
Let me throw Anthony's monkey wrench into this situation. Pause. Words are indeed symbols. Symbols imply some sort of meaning or definition to things. Thus, you using the English language with these guardsmen,
Yes,
they're also
exactly.
using the English language. How do you
Yeah, that's
exactly
like
know
that's like the next level of
to where
like.
you step back and you can say, "Wait, is heaven really heaven though?" Like based on whose term? Who's defining this term as this? Are they just reading my mind and taking what I mean by my context? Do they have their own context? On and so forth.
I think
So
it
yes,
is
they can tell you
implied
truth,
in
but
the
they might
riddle.
hold on. They can tell you truth, but they may symbolize it in a different way than you do. Just like a math equation. No, one is actually infinite. See, one is, 1 over infinity,
But
infinity
if you
times or
ask
something.
my question, you
one-
still
one
know
guard.
which door is which to make your choice.
Yeah, but you're using
It does
English
not matter
language.
how they perceive it.
This is Anthony's thing that he's adding in here that actually
Okay,
that's part
I
of the
understand that.
That's part of the
But
question.
follow
You know
me
what?
through.
But
And
I
my
just feel like,
my
fuck it.
second
I'm not
answer
asking a question. Just
solved
pin a
it.
door.
So you have to qualify the question first of saying, based on what I understand these words to mean, are you
No,
this or
I
are you
don't.
that?
Well, that's the
No.
thing. We're taking it as a given
You're
that
not
what we
listening.
perceive is like no to these
No,
people.
you don't understand.
They
The
have to have the
guard
same
telling the
context as-
truth
Yeah.
would lie to you. Fuck. It doesn't matter which door is heaven and hell. What matters is determining which guard's the liar and the truth teller. If the liar is always going to lie, guards the door to hell.
Yeah, you got
It
one
does not-
question. to
It
figure
doesn't
that
matter
out.
what perception those guards have of it. You just need to determine which one's the liar. And then it's up to you to determine whether you want to go through the heaven or hell door and what your perception of them are. That's your perception.
But I feel like you can ask any
guards'
question
perceptions
and
are
you
relevant.
could realize, like depending how well you know the question you're going to ask, you can
Yes.
you can ask anything ridiculous, and you'll know like who, like by the way they're moving and shit, who's fucking telling the truth and who's not.
Yeah, but you could only ask one person. You could only
Exactly.
ask one
Yeah, that's that principle. That's the
So,
key
if you ask
part
them-
of what I'm saying.
If both
You only
guards
have
would
one
lie and they say yes, then that's the liar. He
Yeah,
guards the hell door.
you're right. I'm not
Doesn't matter
saying
what he
your
determines
question is
how
perfectly
it's
fine. I was just getting behind
so-
like the thinking of
The
Now, you
follow-up
might not wanna
thought would
walk
be,
through that.
what do you know so well that you could be confident to take this risk?
yes, that's definitely
Mathematics.
These are two school. This is perfect. Okay. Anyone else got anything else they want to add? Jackie, you want to say something? I saw your name light
Dude,
up.
you just asked which side the other guard is standing from the other guard. If the guy's standing on the right of him and he says left, then you know he's a fucking liar.
His right or your right?
His right.
Oh, maybe you should put your back against the wall when you ask it, standing between the
No,
two.
you would ask them. You would know their
that's the
right and
point,
left.
Opeth.
So you'd ask one guard, where's the other guard standing to the
That's
right or your left, and
That's
you
the
would
point,
see
Opeth.
that.
That's the point, Opeth. You got it. He's saying you basically, or what Skip is saying, or Chip, sorry, what Chip is saying is that
Skip. Keep it Skip.
What Chip is saying is that if he has a known answer in front of him, right, he knows the liar will lie because he knows the answer to it. What you're saying is also adding to what Anthony's point was, which is, do we have the same context? Do we mean the same thing when we say certain things? Right? That's important. Because abstractly, you could take the number 1, like if you say 1 + 1 is 2, you can, in an abstract way, break 2 into a million infinite different things, right? Because you can fractionalize the answer, correct? To where you're like, oh, is that 2? To where the person who's asking the question can end up in a confused state. So everything requires some sort of qualifying notion of things, some sort of qualifying context, so that there is a direct communication thing, so that no one's confused. Then you can be able to tell whether someone's lying or being truthful or not. So regardless, good?
You have to create a question that gives you a multiplier. And it's just not apparent to a lot of people when they're trying to devise a question to beat it, that one's the liar, so that's the negative, one's the truth teller, that's the positive. So no matter what, you can get the right answer if you follow your basic equation, like RSFO pointed out originally.
But they require qualifying. They require qualifiers.
Yes, but that's why the questions are designed that way. That's what makes them beautiful, is they're naturally qualifiers.
No, it's not naturally qualifying, because you're using English language, which is a symbol. Symbols are relative to the speaker.
I bet my ass the joke would be the same as Swahili.
Thank you.
I'm saying when you have to mean based on what I mean by these words, then you say your question.
9.
That's you qualifying the answer, or qualifying the question. You're saying based on my context and how I understand.
Interpretation of the word yes or no, that could change the answer. But I think in the grand context of the riddle, you shouldn't assume that they speak a language that would cause that confusion. That should have to be outlined in the riddle, and it seems like you're finding
see, that's a tap out right there. That's a tap out, because the point of me bringing this question up.
It in there to tap out.
How many fingers am I holding up?
The point of this.
6.
Hold on.
Those aren't fingers. That's a
You're
dick.
a fucking liar.
You gotta listen. You gotta
Holding
listen.
up none.
You gotta listen. The things that these guys need that you just asked Chip. Hold on.
I'm going to point out I got the right answer when Chip asked that question.
The thing that Chip had to bring up.
He said none.
The thing that you had to bring up for Chip, which was qualifying his answer, like which right, which left, his left or your left. See all that qualifying? You have to do that also with the mathematical answer to the question.
No, it's automatically implied because I don't have to worry about.
It's not automatically implied.
It is.
That means they're reading your mind, reading your context.
Right. They have to give you the perception. If you ask them the question about, what the other guard would say, or if they're both liars or something like that, it automatically implies the other answer that you don't get.
Couldn't I also just ask what's my favorite TV show and stuff like that? Like, I'll know that.
But you're using language to do that.
Yes.
There's the abstraction, thus requiring the qualifiers.
No matter what language you use, you gotta be able to extrapolate both answers from one question.
What was my favorite version of Power Rangers? Like, I'll know that. I know that as a kid. What was my favorite version of Power Rangers? I will know that in my head.
That works, but you have to explain a qualifier, right? Of saying based on my context, right? Based on my understanding.
That's in the question.
And then you ask the question.
That's in the question.
What season? You gotta tell me the season. What was the season that I loved the most as a kid? I know it. There's only one.
Once again, that requires qualifying based on what you mean by that. Right? Otherwise, you're going to have to add 30 million different details into it, right? You're going to have to end up adding 30 million different details. right? Because maybe season 1 was your favorite, but then season 2 came out. But you're a kid in both seasons.
Was it SP? Was it RPM? Was it SPD? Was it Rangers? Like, no, there's very specific seasons. Like,
that's too many questions.
You gotta tell me, like, what is it?
You only get one question, bro. You only get one question. You only get one question, so you can't say, was it season this, season that, season that?
No, like that would be the answer though. Like he only has one answer.
There isn't 6 doors. There's only 2.
Listen, if you say to them, based on what I mean by these words, then you ask your question. You're qualifying it before you ask the question. That's what I'm saying. And so the other one would require that. Even the math one would require a qualifier.
What do you? No, math says like the right answer.
Math would not. Math is universal. Math does not change. No, it wouldn't.
You're using words. Listen, you're using words to explain things.
Understand? Then listen. If you're using words to ask the question, then okay. Well, that automatically they understand your words, or you couldn't ask them the fucking question to begin with. So no, like that's automatically they understand you. That's
sideways logic.
So why are you asking the question? So like math is universal. You know, like Chip said, you hold up 3 fingers, and they say you got 4. Then that's a winner. If they say 3, that's the winner. So I mean, no, like math is math. Numbers are numbers. Language don't matter. Like math is the original language.
Up all your fingers, even the ones that are folded.
I already did like 5.
What if they choose to answer in a foreign language to you?
That's not part of the rules.
Well, that's why the qualifiers are there. Now, me personally, this is going to be me ending the video. I just want to say that the point of this was to see how people approach, well, just a little bit of a mirror or an approach to how people figure things out. Now, some of you guys already knew the answer to it, but at the same time, even your answer kind of revealed something as far as maybe your type of thinking. Some might be more analytical, some might be a little more abstract, but I believe that both paths can lead to the correct answer. There's the one side of it, of the straight up, asking a question. Hold on, asking a question that will, essentially mathematically eliminate possibilities to narrow it down so that you can have the correct answer of heaven and hell door. So you'll know which door you're standing in front of or whatever.
Yeah.
That's one. And there's the other side. How about you tell them the truth? Something you know is a truth. There's no way to deny it because you know it's a truth, which means one would have to lie and one would have to tell the truth. And there's a whole bunch of qualifying that I think has to take place for either sides of the arguments. But
well, I'd like to add that language has a mathematical structure, and if you suddenly decide that to go out of that, why even use language in the first place? Now,
well, whatever you do, whatever you're doing, you're putting it in. You're using symbols to express it, and symbols they are abstract by nature. Like in nature, they are straight up abstract symbols. Even mathematics. The number 1 is an abstract concept on top of an actual thing of 1, right? The actual thing of 1 is different than the symbol for it.
But you can go anywhere and hold up 1 finger, and it doesn't matter what language they speak. They understand that to mean more.
Exactly.
It's still
no,
a symbol.
Opeth, they're pointing up.
You still have to qualify. Do I mean 1 finger, 1 hand, 1 body? It's still all going to be qualified.
The Roman stroke for 1 is like a single.
Symbols.
In the English, in the universally accepted thing is a single line in math, and then also the Chinese is just a sideways 1.
So, YellBRo, you're saying that you have to say, like, at the beginning of whatever question is, as I know to interpret this, or what I feel is what this means. You're saying that has to be put before you ask whatever question you ask.
According to my perception.
Yeah, according to what I know, yeah.
That's the qualifier. That's the interesting thing.
There's a third possibility.
So that's like you acknowledging that.
I think
this is a truth that exists in your mind, not. But you know what I mean? It's not.
I started to say that in front of mine was like, is it commonly acknowledged as like? I think I did say it one time.
I think
like,
that should
if you
be
did, I didn't hear. I'm
implied
sorry, man.
automatically in every question that you ever ask.
This is such an interesting question.
I think there's a third possibility from the question I asked, which was,
Great.
What?
Good.
What's heaven like? Because then you're also getting a liar to describe heaven.
Well, that's kind of like hold on. That's kind of like you're asking like a truth that you know already.
Yeah.
No.
What's heaven's
That's
like?
you asking your notion of what heaven is.
I got a liar to describe heaven.
But that's the thing. Oh, like Dubster, do you know what heaven is? Like, what, like
exactly.
That's a fact.
There you go.
Why is that even important to the question?
Yeah, but the liar would say
because you brought heaven to a liar.
He's not qualifying it, RSFO. He's saying
no, because you brought heaven to a liar.
But what happens if he lies to you and tells you heaven's this beautiful place to trick you to go through the door to hell?
So could you ask this question? Could you ask like? Could you say like?
Heaven for himself.
Yeah. So he could make you describe a beautiful place to trick you to go into that door of hell. He's gonna lie.
Either way,
So
the
he-
question is,
What if you ask?
It has to be a beautiful place matching what Dubster would like.
So you have to qualify it.
Everything that's true, and it just leaves out.
No, you guys are missing what I'm saying. I'm asking the question.
Hey, man,
so
no, he doesn't have to have every word out of his mouth a lie. He just has to lie somewhere, I would assume. So he could describe heaven.
Are still missing it.
Except no pudding, and you're like, wait a minute.
Now hang on.
So I wouldn't
Hang
say
on.
that you could ask them. You could ask them. Do people who generally go through these doors? Did people who generally go through your door cry?
And
do people who generally go through your door when they find out which door it is cry?
Or feel
that would be a question.
Clarify your question.
They would both say no.
Become sad or cry, and then that would be yes or and say yes or no. Like, do people generally when they go through your door cry or become sad? Yes or no? Like that would be a question.
But wouldn't you be able to cry and be sad when you go to heaven and realize that your significant other didn't make it? You know,
cry in sorrow and sadness.
That's why
sorrow and sadness because your Uncle Jamal isn't there with you in heaven because he was a piece of shit in life.
This seems to be like kind of like the whole point, right? Like you have to clarify the question because we're even applying a lot of meaning to what we even think the reason
the problem is. This whole shit just got applied a lot of meaning to when the answer is a very simple thing.
I agree.
They changed the whole dynamic of what the actual question was. Because the original riddle was based on something completely different. This only gives you one question to ask. The other one, there was no amount of question you could ask, and you can ask both parties.
Well, I like the notion of one question because I think it sort of showcases the whole point of this. And I'm going to wrap up the video now, guys.
So basically what you're saying is Arzifo are right and everybody else is wrong.
Opeth.
That didn't agree with us.
I'm actually recording this for a video. Let me do this. All right. So I'm seeing, it seems like it's on a spectrum, but at the same time, I'm seeing two kind of dominant routes to answering or to, figuring out this riddle. And obviously Anthony added something very interesting, which is like, you kind of got to qualify your question in order for it to, so that there's no wiggle room with the answer. That's also important. So it's like, I'm seeing with this question, how you guys were answering it, I'm seeing such a reflection of like thinking patterns and how we figure things out. Now, I'm not saying that's a general rule. I'm not saying that's a rule for each and every one of you. I'm just saying, oh, okay, maybe this person might think in this way when they're approached with something where they have to think about something and figure something out and problem solving. So that was it kind of went where I was hoping it would go. And I want to thank all of you for being a part of this. This was really cool, actually, to hear. What's up, Grey Walker? Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you feel like. Comment. Agree with some. Disagree with some. Do you have your own answer? Do you have the only best answer? Do you have no fucking clue? Whatever. We'll put it down in the comment section. Don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the fucking links in the description box. Share them, donate to them. Do it! And with all that said, give this video a thumbs down.